Post-game conversation with Dan Mullen, brought to you by your Southern Nevada Chevy dealers. What'd you tell the guys after the game?
Well, I mean, similar to what I said right here, a lot of that was on me. A couple times in the game, I should have been better decision making to make sure that we have things done right. Again, in all three phases. So I have to really. I told them I'm owning it, and and our kids, we have great kids in the locker room. Like, no, hey, everybody wanted to take ownership like they did before, like they do. I think there's a lot of really disappointed guys in there, but to me as the head coach, it's in every phase. I got to make sure we're coached the exact right way, that we're making the right adjustments that we need to make in game, and that we've make sure we've covered every detail. And not let us kind of glance over things. Or like make sure, like I think I said here in the post-game press conference, making sure we're ready for whatever the curveballs, right, or the off-speed pitches that are going to come during the course of the game are there for.
On their final scoring drive, you guys get a sack. You called a blitz by Joseph.
Yeah.
Third down, it's 3rd and 12. What's the process there? Do you think about
well,
again?
you know what?
It looked like he sat down on the zone.
We've had some success. We had some success showing up some different looks in the zone coverage. And again, that's one of those ones I'm talking about that's on me. We've shown them that look already. A couple times during the game. We've had success with it, showing them that look. But obviously, once you've shown them that look a couple times, quarterback knows what's coming. Give them credit, called a nice little play, and hit an easy corner route against the coverage. Like I always say, it's very easy after a game to look back and say, boy, I guess I could have done this or I could have done that in those situations. And I think that was, again, give them credit. We kind of sat in that defense one play too long.
Well, and I know you like to give other teams credit for plays being made. And Jack Lane, the quarterback, was really accurate on that final drive. The kid, Kagan Johnson, made some unbelievable catches.
They caught 2 fade balls that are contested 50-50 balls, and he made both catches. So you got to, like I always get with our guys. I think players get frustrated more like I get as a coach. I'm frustrated on the 3rd down call. You said that we went one time too far in that defense. That's on us. Kid leaps up and makes a great catch over another guy. That happens. But for the kids, they get really frustrated because they want to make the plays to win the game. But you know what? That stuff's going to happen. And so obviously that's not the issue to me. It's making sure the other parts I could have had us in a better position coming into the end of the game.
Dan Mullen postgame. You spot him a 21-0 lead. Yeah. Is that maybe lack of rhythm out of the bye week? Is that they came out with some schemes that confused the defense a little bit? They gave a lot of looks.
No, they did, but they do that. They get a lot of different personnel, a lot of different formations. I mean, the explosive plays are what are really hurting us right now defensively. And, I think 280-yard plus touchdown. I mean, that's hard. And the turnovers, for us in the first half. 2 turnovers in the first half led to points for them. And can't do that. But, there's a lot of times this is where I give our players a lot of credit, is the resiliency they have, right? I mean, listen, I'm a coach. This is at 21-0. I'm like, okay. How are we finding ways to come back and win the game? The harder one is how do the players find a way to come back and do that? I give our guys the credit and the resiliency to come back and be able to do that. I thought was fantastic.
When you get some of those plays that look like busted covers, like the tight end at the beginning of the third quarter scores a touchdown, or the 80-yarder where Joseph's chasing, I don't think that was on him. What are you seeing?
Well, there's a lot of different things, right? Their long quarterback run was poor communication up front. Give them credit. They hadn't run that play out of that look yet, and then all of a sudden we miss a line and we don't have no edge to the defense. They were on a double move on that big post at the end of the half, but that's on us. They're in a 2-minute and we're sitting there playing base defense and, just letting them dial up a play, which you can't do. And then I think we're man coverage on the tight end one. And all of a sudden, you got to have good eyes, right? The discipline for us to make sure that we're staying with our guy, even though it might be a little different, and that's the stuff I talk about. Hey, people are going to just like we're going to do, we're going to run a lot of similar plays out of different motion shifts. We're going to change it up from one week to the next. And just our ability to kind of adapt on the field to those things has to be better.
I did see you change some personnel on defense. Different linebackers and Zay Patterson, more time for Edmondson. Also a true freshman out on the field. And Logo was getting some time.
Yeah.
Christensen was getting time. How do you think they did?
I thought pretty good, and inexperienced. Christensen's obviously played a lot of special teams for us this year and gone in. Logo is, not a big. I think everybody knows I'm a 5 for 5. Like, I don't know why the NCAA does it. Just let people play 5 for 5. But Logo came in, and I think we have 5 regular season games left. He's allowed to play in 4 of them, and we're going to get him out there on the field and let him go play. And I think he did I'll watch the film. It's hard. Like, I'd love to say they did amazing or they did poorly, but I'll go watch the film for that. I think those guys are excited to be out there making plays.
So talk about Calandra to have the game he had. Considering, you just pointed out that was like as true a game time decision as there is. You didn't know until the final minute or so if he was going to be out there.
Yeah, it was, and here's my deal. Like, in the back of your mind, it wasn't like I didn't get any sleep last night because of it, a little bit, but because I know he's a competitor, so I know he was. It wasn't like I would have to pull him off the field, and the question would be if I just saw his face and he just looked like he couldn't even function, that would happen. Only this morning, last night even, everyone says he's like, I'm feeling a little better. So I'm like, okay, just let's rest. And, for him to come out though and perform the way he did, I thought was pretty fantastic.
So the play,
I think one of the ones you see in that game, I think you could tell some of his scrambles of him getting out of bounds pretty quick. I just think for him, I didn't
think he was going to run at all.
He would kind of take off, like he would go, some of those he'd try to make bigger plays. He was kind of like, hey, I got the first down, let me get down and we'll keep playing.
The fourth down play, the key fourth down in the fourth quarter where you got a collision with the official. Is that a read by Calandra? Is not the right?
He's got to let it get bad.
Hold on to it.
He had a step on him. He had another read he could get to and keep going through the progression. And their kid made a nice play. You know what I mean? Sometimes their kid tipped the ball away, right? You talked about on their last drive, two plays. Ball went up. They made a catch. We didn't tip it away. Their kid tipped it away. You know what I mean? Official or not, I think if their kid doesn't tip the ball, Clay Moore's going to catch that pass on his first down, move the chains. So, but I got to look at that drive. I think that's where we in the right calls we needed in that time of the game in that situation. Make sure we get what we needed to get down the field.
Let's close on a couple of things. Dan Mullen post game. Jason Eck's a really good coach, and they were really aggressive. I thought defensively, trying to close you guys out, bringing pressure at the end of the game.
They do a good job. I think, like I said, coming into it, I knew they play really hard. His team plays hard. He's got good players. They're a good football team, And that's why I said you give. I think we're disappointed. I'm disappointed in our performance. Right. Listen. We're having this team's a fun team to coach, and I think you hear me say that all the time. And I love coaching these guys. I can't say I've ever gone home Saturday night and not been disappointed with, our execution and our performance. I've never been disappointed with our resolve and our attitude. But certainly disappointed with our execution and our performance in every single game we've played. And you see, kind of needed that drive. And we've had a bunch of those drives to win games when they, in the key moments. And we didn't get one today. And that's disappointing. I know it's disappointing. But we'll get to play again. It's football. We'll be in the office bright and early tomorrow morning, and you get the opportunity to go work and play again next week. And we'll have I don't doubt we'll have a great attitude coming in this week to work. And I got to make sure that, we are cleaning up that performance part of it, of the execution and the performance. Yeah, thanks to all the Rebel fans. Great crowd again today. I love all the support that the city gives us and all the fans give us. So thanks to all the Rebel fans, and see you in a couple weeks. We'll get to come back and get another home win, hopefully in a couple weeks.